Hello, people. Welcome back to the Halftime Oranges podcast with myself and my co-host, Mr. Jayon. What's good, my guy?
The real halftime oranges. I'm all right, mate. Well,
The
how
original.
are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We were supposed to do it together, but unfortunately, circumstances happened, and my guy has broken his leg. It's split in two, man. Jeez, tell them what happened. Tell them exactly what went
Um,
down.
Playing football tournament, first 5 minutes. I get snapped. I've snapped both my bones in my leg. So
Yeah,
yeah, have had it operated on. Been in hospital and all that. Um, yeah, now just recovering. I'm home for a little while. I'll go back to uni next week.
brilliant stuff. Get well soon, man. You'll be just fine. You've had
I
tougher days.
appreciate it.
You've had much tougher days. You'll get through this. So it's been a while since we've been doing this. We need to keep this going consistently. I swear. We
We
need to
will, we
get this
will when I
going,
get back.
and we will definitely when you come back. So a lot's happened this week. Let's quickly touch on the weekend games. We'll start with my club first, Arsenal. 0-0 draw against the Brighton side that have been doing very well in the Premier League recently under Graham Potter, playing some really good football, and everyone's starting to really liken to him. Even me, I would think I would take him over Arteta at the moment.
He's quality.
He's I don't know where it came from. Remember,
Didn't I tell you he was quality when he first
I,
came to the
I,
league?
I wouldn't have
Exactly.
thought so. Like we played his team back in, I think, I don't know where it was, Sweden. I think it was Sweden Ostersunds in the Europa League.
It's is
It
it
was
Norway?
Ostersunds.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
no,
Yeah,
Norway. Yeah,
Sweden. It's
yeah,
Swedish,
yeah,
I think. I can't remember.
yeah. And that's when I first started. So when I heard he was coming to the Premier League, I really didn't know why, but he's showing his quality. He's he could have made first had they beaten us,
Mm.
but that would have been terrible. But I mean, I'm a local Palace fan, so I hate Brighton. I'm not about the Seagulls, but the Eagles' life always,
There we go.
always. So 0-0 draw. From my point, I think it was a point gained because they played a lot better than us. They played really good football. They pressed us high. Um, we made chances. I think we should have scored. I think Aubameyang should have scored one there. Ultimately, I think a point was deserved for both sides. If you were to pick a winner, fine, pick Brighton. But I think both sides will be happy with the point. Honestly,
Yeah, I'd say so.
yeah. Go
Yeah,
on to United. Big controversy with Ronaldo being benched. He didn't start the game, and everyone got onto Ollie's case, and maybe they were justified to get on his case. 1-1 draw the Old Trafford. Townsend doing the Ronaldo celebration right at the
I
end.
thought it was quite funny actually.
I was quite B-tech to be fair, but in the end they got a point. That's a very good point for Rafa. I think he'd be very happy with that.
Yeah,
Was it
definitely.
was it the lack of Ronaldo from the start, or is it just Ollie's game plan not working for him, and his time might be numbered?
Well, yeah, he's definitely under a lot of pressure, but I think barring Ronaldo, you'd say pretty much his lineup was as strong as it could be. Maybe he should have played Pogba as well. Um, because I don't know why Martial was starting. I think he's a terrible player, but we move. And results for them this season have not been going the way they wanted, especially who they brought in this summer, right? Everyone was so hyped for their summer business, but they're just
With
failing
the
to get
squad they
results.
have, I think they should be challenging for the title. I mean, look at the defense now. It's been like Harry Maguire is turning into a world class defender. I think he saw it in the Euros. Wan-Bissaka, I think, is good defensively. Maybe not going forward, but good defensively. He's got partnership with Varane, one of the best French defenders in the world right now, and Luke Shaw, who you said was the best player
Quality.
in
Yeah.
Euros. So why are they conceding goals? Where is it coming from? Are they
It's
really missing the DM that they've been talking about?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a massive hole in their squad. And yeah, they got Fred McTominay, but neither of them puts up massive defensive numbers. Both of them are quite limited in what they do, and they do need that solid, you know, play breaking player and someone who can pass from deep. They don't really have that. They're Fred and McTominay are both mediocre, and because of it, they struggle to play Pogba and Bruno at the same time, which Ollie does need to find a way to figure out.
He does. So we'll see coming in the future. But I think they're strong enough to finish top four for sure.
They
Chelsea
should.
got
That's what they should
yeah,
be aiming for.
yeah, for sure. Chelsea got a 3-1 win over Southampton. They're looking
Hmm.
strong, top of the league right now. I've said it from the beginning. I think they're going to win the league. I think Thomas Tuchel's a genius. Um, Your team didn't do as great against a poor Spurs side. What happened there?
I was quite surprised actually.
I was too. They beat United last week, 1-0 away at Old Trafford. This week, couldn't do against Spurs.
I don't know. We're just so hit and miss right now. Dean Smith is experimenting with the lineups. He's, for the first time I've seen him gone for a proper three at the back system in recent weeks, with Mings, Hawes in the middle, and then Ezri Konsa on the right. Yeah, and I don't mind Watkins and Ings as a front two, but I think you have to find a way of getting Buendia in from the start, because you just spunked like 33 million on him, right? You got to play him. Leon Bailey looks like he's made out of glass. He's played like 2.5 games for us so far, if that. But yeah, he's been quality when he's on the pitch, but he's just not playing enough. And I think we'll come good. I think we're just trying to figure things out with the loss of Grealish, getting in pretty much a new attack, barring Watkins. And we've had a lot of changes in the coaching staff as well, with Terry leaving and a couple of the other assistant coaches leaving. So I think give it after Christmas, you should see us kind of where we want to be. Let's say.
Where would you want to finish, and where do you expect you'll finish?
I want to finish top 10. So around that 8th, 9th, 10th position, right? Just outside of Europe. I think that'll show progress for us. I expect to finish around 11th-ish.
Just missed
11th, 12th-ish, something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-table, but no chance of being in danger for relegation or anything like that.
Yeah, I think they'll be finished. I think mid-table as well, and I think a loss of Grealish is big. So if you can finish mid-table and go again next season with the funds you've got from the Grealish, you could be, who knows, Europe.
Absolutely.
For sure. You had a shock of the weekend. Brentford went to the London Stadium, got one over West Ham, who are on the up. I think that goes to show Brentford and the way they play. I really like the way they play. High press, attacking, no fear. And Tony, what a striker. Love what he's doing.
Yeah, they've been good. Him and Mbeumo have been amazing, actually. And Thomas Frank, he's everyone can see now he's a great coach, and he's taken Brentford so far, and it's just so fun to watch them. You know, even like West Ham are quite fun to watch from last season as well. And I think both teams should be aiming quite high this season.
I think so too. I think we saw one of the games of the season so far, Sunday night, Liverpool versus City. Watching that, I just felt really jealous, and it made me realize how far behind we are as a football club trying to compete for a title. Liverpool City 2-2, and do you think Salah right now is the best player in the league? Everyone's talking about it. Where do you stand?
Right now,
you saw the goal. This is the goal he scored. That's class. And the assist for Mane again shows his quality.
They were both class. I think people are hyping them up too much, but I think they were both class. I'd say he's probably the best player in the league right now. Yeah, yeah.
I think so too. Right, like, you can't argue with that, with the stats, and he played an amazing game against City. Do you think Milner got lucky?
That challenge that you're on about is not a red card tackle.
No, it's not a red card. No. But at least a yellow card, and that would have led to two accumulated yellow cards to a red.
Yeah. I think it was a foul. I don't know if it was a second yellow, to be honest.
I think it was second. He was going ahead of goal. The leg was high, and Gabriel, he literally fell on his neck. how bad of a
I
foul it
don't
was.
think that's. I don't think you can kind of blame a tackle for how the guy lands. I think it's high, but it's almost like he's stuck his leg out, but
He's
it's
stuck
his
his leg, yeah.
he's Bernardo Silva's caught him on on Milner's thigh,
Hmm.
right? It's literally top of the thigh on top of the thigh, and that in itself is not dangerous, really. It's just I think people have dramatized it because of his fall afterwards, and yeah, it was a nasty fall. I agree with that, but I don't know. I think it was probably a foul. That's it.
Mm. Okay, fair enough.
Maybe
Yeah,
if he'd given a yellow, I wouldn't have argued. But
yeah.
me personally refereeing, I would have given foul, no second yellow.
Okay, fair enough. So let's look at around Europe, and here's a stat for you. According to the stats, we have the European heavyweights PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, all lost on the weekend. And that's the first time that's happened since April 2003. What went
Really?
wrong? What went wrong? Let's look at PSG first. What was it again? It was 2-1 away. No, so
Hmm.
yeah, they were away to Rennes and they lost 2-0. No Messi magic. Is you must have seen it by now. The interview with Mbappe. He's come out and
Yes.
said he did want to leave, and he made it clear he wants to leave in July, early in the transfer window, so that they could possibly get the funds to get a quality replacement. These are his words. Is that going to play an effect on PSG, their game?
I don't see why. I just feel like Poch is under a lot of pressure right now because he's
How?
not performing results. He's not getting results.
I mean, that's their first loss. 8 wins, 1 loss, top of the league. He got a 2-0 win over City. And that's
Yeah,
the thing. Then Mbappe's interview came out and a shock loss to Rennes, who are doing quite poorly in Liga as well.
yeah.
Is there something there you think? Because
I
before Messi came, I think he was arguably their best player. And when your best player is
yeah, probably.
unhappy and he's come out and said what he said, it's going to it's going to resonate along the other players. They're not going to feel happy either.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they've got the 8 wins, but their performances haven't been all that great. They've averaged 1 goal a game against. They've conceded, I think, 9 in 9
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
the league. I just think Poch needs to change something because the
Drop
amount of
Mbappe?
talent, I don't see why, to be honest.
Mm.
No, he's too good to drop.
Of course. Yeah.
Unless he's bad in training, as in like misbehaving or anything, then I don't see why you drop him because he's quality. You might as well. You've rejected that 180 million or whatever. You have to play him.
Hmm.
Otherwise, what's the point, you know? Um, but the amount of talent they've got compared to the rest of the league, especially, they should be performing a lot better than they have, in my opinion.
I think so too. Let's move on to the Bundesliga. Your team, Bayern Munich at home, 2-1 loss to Frankfurt. Kostic with the winner. What happened
Yeah.
there? I went wrong there.
What you saw or what you should have seen is an amazing performance by Kevin Trapp.
Yeah,
Uh,
we saw it.
Phenomenal. Honestly, one of the best games for a goalkeeper I've seen in a very long time. He was absolutely amazing during that game. Save after save, there was Sane's volley that he saved, a shot from Lewandowski, close range. There were so many incredible saves that he made, and he's saved Frankfurt that day. That's Frankfurt's first win over Bayern away in Munich since the year 2000, which is insane when you hear it like that.
Wow.
But they managed to do it and they held on. Um, their goals were well taken. Um, I can't really blame Neuer for Kostic's winner. It was a good shot, but I don't know. preventable, I think.
Is it going to affect Bayern Munich going forward?
No. That's their first loss of the season, right?
Yep.
Um, they had a poor pre-season, everyone knows that, and people were quite worried. But since the season started, Nagelsmann's fixed it up, and yeah, he's done well until this last game week. What is a bit of an issue is he isn't really rotating the squad very much. He's used the same core players of Neuer, Kimmich, Upamecano, Goretzka, Alphonso Davies, Muller, Lewandowski. Those kind of 8 players have been there in the starting lineup every single game week. The only real players he's rotating the right back because Pavard's been injured, so it's between him, Sula, and Stanisic, who's a youth player, and then the other centre back and one of the wingers because usually Sane's been starting. Since he's moved to the left wing, he's been on fire. Really, he's rediscovered his form, and I'm so pleased because we needed him to.
Mm-hmm. If you look at the Bundesliga table, you can see it's very tight on the top 4. I think it's unpredictable right now. Moving on to La Liga, we got Barcelona and Real Madrid, both again lost. Barca to Atletico 2-0. And Real Madrid to Barca's derby rivals Espanyol. What's happening? We're gonna get to what's happening in La Liga, but in fact, you know what? We'll come back to the La Liga completely. Even their results will come back to. I want to move on to other topics. So next thing on the agenda that we have is well, for me anyway, Jack Wilshere. Don't know if you've seen, you haven't seen the pictures yet, but you see the training pictures. He's now starting to train with Arsenal. I don't know if you watched his interview about how his battle with depression, how not being able to find a club to sign him is how it's hurting him.
It must be hard for him.
I really feel for him. We, as an Arsenal fan, we love him. He's a gooner. He grew up and he became a fan favorite. We didn't want to lose him. We had to lose him. Emery came in, did what he needed to do, fine. Even when he went to the likes of West Ham, the problems were still there. He's very, very injury prone. He's probably worse than Bailey, you know. And it's sad to see. He's now training with Arsenal. Would you think it would be a good idea for us to re-sign him? It's not on the agenda. Arteta was asked that and he downplayed it. But as a football fan, what would you say to that?
As a football fan, yeah, I'd like to see it. Just because it's sad when, you know, this guy has dedicated his life to it and he can't even find a club. Mainly because of his injury issues, right? No one wants to give him that wage when he's barely going to play. But with a football hat on, thinking from the perspective of Arsenal, I absolutely would not re-sign him. There's no reason to. For me, he's way too injury prone. Whatever contract you give him, he's barely going to play. I don't think he's an improvement on Partey, Lokonga, Odegaard, or Emil Smith-Rowe. He's not exactly young either.
He's 31 now, yeah. He's 31 now. Crazy to think that.
No, there's no reason for me to re-sign him. He's too injury prone. His wage too high.
I'd love to sign him back, maybe because of the nostalgia. And I know once he puts that in that shirt, he's one of the few players that will give 110%. He will always play for that badge. And that's what we need. We don't get that a lot in our players anyway. But why I wouldn't want to sign him is that we're talking about progress and going forward. If we sign Jack Wilshere, it's an indication that we're not going forward. We're clearly going backwards. And if he doesn't perform, he gets injured, we're going to get all the problems again. And it's just going to be a huge mess. So ideally, I think the safe option is to not sign him. I would love to, but like you said, putting a football hat on, you're looking at the club, it's best not to. It's more likely it will go wrong than it will go right. That's how I see it.
And you've just shed so much of your wage bill. Why are you going to waste a lot of it on him in the nicest way possible?
Yeah, I get it, 100%. Breaking news today. Huge
Mm.
news, huge news. And it's going to make a lot of Newcastle fans very, very happy. The Saudi bid takeover has now officially been confirmed. Don't know if you've seen the list, but they're worth about £300 billion,
Yeah,
which
320 billion. Yeah.
which can only mean that we talk about the traditional top six. Very, very soon it will be a top seven, or it will still be a six, and one of Arsenal Spurs will be kicked out of it. Can only see that happening. What does this mean for the Premier League? Are you happy with this? How do you think it will go? Do you think they could be the next Man City, or even better?
Well, let's put this in perspective. The Saudi investment fund is worth 320 billion. The Premier League's current richest owners, which is Man City, are worth 30 billion.
Yep.
Just shows you
It's scary. That's
the
very
depth
scary.
of what we're talking about here. No, I don't like it. And a lot of Newcastle and Premier League fans are against this.
Really? Newcastle fans?
Yeah, have you not heard? They're protesting.
I saw them celebrating.
Some of them were
Yeah.
protesting as well because they don't want these owners because of their blatant human rights violations. And that's what a lot of people are saying, that it started with the Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz 2 fight that took place in Saudi. And now it's this purchasing of a top flight football club. And they're already making plans for the Fury AJ fight to be in Saudi as well. And what people are saying is it's a very blatant way of Saudi trying to get rid of their human rights issues and kind of brush them under the carpet with sporting events. And the sad thing is, it will probably work. It shouldn't, but it probably will. A lot of Newcastle fans I've seen have appealed to the Premier League to not let it happen. So we'll see if what actually happens with that. As for the league itself, I don't think, maybe in 5 years' time you'll see them come good. I don't think you're going to see them spend like, 500 million in each transfer window. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a limit of how much they can spend and the players they can attract and all that stuff. But I'm not too happy. As for the traditional six, I already think it's gone, to be honest. I think you got top four now of City, United, Liverpool, Chelsea. And I think Leicester would probably be the fifth best team. Spurs and Arsenal have dropped out for me. Maybe Newcastle could come up there and make a new top six with Leicester replacing Arsenal and Tottenham, right? But I don't know.
It's scary to think. I don't know if you remember seeing that and the Griezmann video about him on Football Manager, and what team did he use? Newcastle. Who did he buy? Mbappe for 134 million euros. Looking like he saw the future. Honestly, he played it. He did what he needed to do, and look, it's coming into reality. I'm personally scared. As an Arsenal fan, I do want to win the Premier League, and this is only going to make it even harder. We're already struggling. We're already trying to make progress, so to speak, with a fresh team. And it's fresh, I can't lie. Even the defense is looking really nice. But time will tell. Let's quickly touch on the international games happening this weekend. I don't know if you saw the UEFA Nations League semi-final. Italy's
the first game, Italy-Spain yesterday.
It's finally over.
Yeah.
It's finally done. Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
Ferran Torres. Yeah, 2 goals.
Yeah, I didn't think it was quite a fun game, to be honest. I don't really enjoy watching Spain play. I feel like
they got to the semis of the Euros.
Yeah.
And they lost it.
No, don't get me wrong, they're good and they've got a good squad. I just don't enjoy watching them. Right. But yeah, they completely outclassed Italy, to be honest. Yeah, of course, the sending off helped them, but they were the much better side on the night, and they deserved to go through.
I think so too. Tonight, Belgium, France. Who are you picking?
Belgium.
Really?
Yeah.
I stick with France. I still think they got it. I know
No, I don't.
Belgium have been ranked number one now.
Oh, I
I don't
don't
really
care about
think.
those rankings. That's
Yeah,
stupid.
I don't
Yeah.
really think it means much to be honest. I still think France will take it.
I
Um,
think Deschamps is going to go through what's been happening with Jogi Löw for Germany, and I think he needs to get out now, to be honest. Especially with all the drama that's happening with Mbappe and
yeah,
saying that he might take a break from France and all that stuff. There's no reason for him to stay. He had an awful Euros. Just needs to go, to be honest. He's going to ruin his legacy otherwise.
fair enough. Let's talk about England. Two easy games, I think. Hungary and Andorra. Is it
Yep.
Hungary? It is Hungary and Andorra. Yeah, first game is Andorra. What should Gareth Southgate do? Speak a bit complacent, play a few of the players that he wouldn't have usually played. I don't know, like a Ramsdale in goal. Saka can get a start. Bellingham can get a start maybe. Although I don't think he took him this time.
Um, I think, yeah, give those guys a start. I think this is a way for him to experiment with his lineup, right? And see what works in different systems and see what doesn't. Um, maybe experiment with unleashing a few players in a different way, like Jadon Sancho, because he's absolutely misusing Sancho right now. Or even, I don't know, Ollie Watkins, see him, how he does. I was quite surprised with his call up, to be honest. But yeah, England should win them with whoever they put out, to be honest.
If I can quickly touch on Sancho, what's happened to him? He used to be up there on the level, I think personally, especially with his stats, goals and assists, on the likes of Mbappe and Haaland, but he's
I
completely
agree.
dropped off. What's been happening to him?
It's he's been not used correctly. That's it. Um, Fine, he needs to adapt to his new surroundings and all that stuff. But people, he's been stuck out on their right wing for United. That's fine. He can play there. Um, what a lot of people don't realize is he's actually better on the left wing, which, all right, sure. But when he was amazing, or his best probably spell at Dortmund, was on that right wing when Hakimi was there. And what that did is it gave him basically a partner, right?
An
Someone
outlet.
to link up with. Yeah, someone to link up with and play around and all that stuff. Whereas now he's stuck on that right wing. Usually he plays with Ronaldo's striker. Wan-Bissaka's behind him at right back, and he's got no one to link with. And it's all well and good telling him do something with the ball, but he does need someone to play with and all that stuff. And what you're going to see a lot of is a lot of the ball goes through Fernandez and Pogba, as we know, not through Sancho.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it'll take time. Maybe even a new manager. I'm not sure,
If they do
but
sack him, and I think if they are going to sack him, it will be just before Christmas. Do you think the likes of Conte, Zidane, are going to take this job? I mean, look who he has to play with. You still got Ronaldo there. That's very attractive.
Conte would not be the right fit at all, in my opinion. Um, Zidane could work. Yeah, I could see that. I don't
Yeah.
think he'd take the job, but he would work. Other than that, I don't really know who they'd get. I don't really know.
Yeah. I don't know who else is available to be honest.
No.
They might have to, they
Um,
could pay compensation package to a club and get their manager off them.
I don't see who though. Like maybe you try and get. I don't know. I don't know who's at a smaller club that's going to want to go. Maybe Graham Potter if they're being adventurous. I think that's too much of a step though. Other than that, you can try and nick Luis Enrique from Spain.
From Spain, yeah.
Um, I don't think Poch is going to leave. Flick's just gone. Try and get Italy's manager. There's not really,
Mancini.
there's not really any outstanding candidates for me, to be honest, which is the issue. Because I don't think Conte is the right fit, and something tells me Zidane just won't take the job. I think Zidane's got Juve written all over him.
You know, you got a point there. It looks like they're running that direction. Let's go on to today's topic that we were going to talk about, and that's the decline, let's say, of La Liga as a whole, because we've seen it almost decimate. I think it really started with the 8-2 battering of Barcelona at the hands of Bayern Munich. I think that's when you saw the wounds starting to become a lot more clearer, and it's a lot more severe than people think.
For Barcelona, yeah.
But okay, let's talk about Barcelona first. They lost 2-0 away to Atletico Madrid. I think. Did you see Suarez's celebration?
Say again, sorry.
Did you see Suarez's celebration?
Yeah, when he's
Yeah, I think that's class, to be honest. You might as well give it back. That's, I think, for a player who served that club as well as he has, to be just given a phone call that you're done, you're being cut off, it's very harsh. And I think he deserves to give it back the way he did. So let's look at what happened to them. So they are apparently in the likes around 1.3 billion in debt. Many reasons, including overspending on players, high salaries, overspending on club management, even on signings. Apparently, they realized that they put the money through for Griezmann, only realizing later they don't really have the funds for Griezmann, but it's already too late. Now he's on their hands, so they didn't really want Griezmann in the first place. No wonder they sold him back for an even lower fee. So Atletico Madrid really winning there a lot, because in that time they won La Liga. So what happened was they started to take loans out of the bank over up to 100 million euros, except the board at the time would do it by themselves. Normally they should be having like a general assembly, so to speak, and to get like a vote, almost like, let's talk about this, let's see what we're doing. But they went about it their own way, and they heavily put this club into a lot of debt, which the new board who have come in are trying to refund. They're trying to make a new project. Where do you think Barcelona stand? Because they should have filed for bankruptcy. They really should have, but because the name is Barcelona, it can't happen. It can't happen. So what do you think is going to happen to this club going forward? Is there a way of some redemption?
Slowly. I think Koeman's doing quite a poor job, to be honest. His plan is hit it up to De Jong and see what happens. That's an awful signing, by the way, which is endemic of a deeper lying issue at Barca, but we'll talk about that later. The one thing that they've got going for them is, well, first of all, Laporta lied he didn't lie, he kind of misled the voters, right? When the Barcelona presidency was up for grabs. But he is sensible-ish. I think he will manage to kind of guide them out of a little bit of financial trouble. I don't think he'll sort it out. I think that'll be on the next president. But they have a few good young players that could lead them out this dark age for them.
Pedri, I think, is one of them.
Pedri, Ansu Fati, probably the big two. Then you got the likes of Ricky Puig, Frankie de Jong, all these guys, right? They're in a real mess, and it's going to take them so long to fix it because they have no real sellable assets. They're just in the mud, really. Yeah.
Yep. It's not looking really good for them. Let's look at Real Madrid. Poor in the Champions League. Poor again in La Liga. Carlo Ancelotti not doing a good job, or is he surrounded by aging players that just can't keep up with what he wants?
I just think he's outdated, to be honest. again, it shows kind of Real Madrid are unable to attract a bigger name manager when they signed him. They've failed to refresh their squad, especially their midfield. The likes of Modric, Kroos, all get in games. Casemiro is finally showing how limited of a player he is. He is literally a centre back. That's all he is in playing in midfield. Fail to utilize the likes of Isco and Ødegaard and Ceballos and Mateo Kovacic. Hence, they've all left, or most of them have left. They've been relying on Benzema. That's it, and he can't carry them forever. They need to again sort it out. And Perez, I think he has to go as well. I'm surprised not more Madrid fans are calling for him to go, to be honest. Probably because of how much he's done for them, but I think he does need to go.
I mean, he's managed to get them out of the disciplinary proceedings that UEFA tried to get on them about the Super League. Completely called off. What do you think about that? Should they have been punished? Should they still be punished?
It's embarrassing. All of these clubs should be punished, but they're not going to be. It's just politics, isn't it? Because it's come out that like he said that, it's just the La Liga president that came out and said that FIFA and Gianni Infantino actually support the Super League and he wanted it to be FIFA endorsed and all this stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing's going to happen, but I'm absolutely happy that Barcelona and Real are struggling and they're going to struggle for years to come, and I'm loving it so much.
Is it going to be a shift in power now? Because they've dominated Europe for the last decade. Champions League's been split.
Yeah, you're going to see a shift in power.
Maybe a shift in power even La Liga itself. You got to look at Barcelona.
We've got some talking points for that, but I think as a whole, the only club that has maintained their status as, I don't know, the top 3 in Europe since 2010 is probably Bayern Munich. 2010 Champions League final, or 2011, 2012, 2013 Champions League finals, right? And they've been there or thereabouts the entire decade, and they're still quality because of how well they've been run. Since after 2018, you've seen power shift from La Liga to the Premier League. And that's for a number of reasons, because of the influx in quality managers leading to quality players coming along. Yes, that's to do with the money in the league and the TV broadcasting, all that stuff. But I think this decade will be dominated by Premier League plus Bayern.
How do you feel about that? I know you love the Bundesliga. I think the Bundesliga is quite entertaining, especially this season. Bother you that much? Premier League, I think right now and for the next few years actually is going to be the league that's going to dominate Europe.
Yeah. I don't mind it. Me personally, I would say Bundesliga's second best league in Europe right now.
At the moment, yeah, I think so.
In terms of quality competition, that's quality players and managers, and entertainment factor. I think second best, and I'm fine with that. It's just they do need to find a way to bring more money into German football so that they can grow, because I don't want them to be left behind, and that is what's in danger of happening, right? But the Premier League, it's going to dominate for this decade for sure.
Okay, let's talk about La Liga now.
Yeah, there's a few things that I want to kind of cover here. Let's have your view, but like I think there's a few main topics or kind of headings that we can say why La Liga has fallen, right? I think we can divide it into the player quality, the manager quality, the finances in the league, the mismanagement by all the top clubs, and then big assets and young assets leaving the league. I think those are
I think
kind
they
of.
exposed themselves when they pulled in the Super League earlier this year. It was very clear that the only motivation was money. They needed it. They were heavily in debt. And we've seen over the recent week how badly Barcelona are in debt. Player quality wise, look, you don't even got to look at Barcelona. Who's left? Messi. They couldn't sign Messi. They couldn't afford him. If they did, they might have actually fallen into administration.
I think barring going through the top three teams or the big three teams in La Liga,
I think Atletico are
I'd
doing very well for themselves, personally. I
yeah,
think
they
they're the
are
best run club in the La Liga right now. Business
potentially.
wise as
I'd still
well, yeah.
think even then I think their signings have been quite poor, to be honest. I think they spunked over 100 million on Joao Felix and he's done fuck all.
I don't think that's worked out for him or for
They've
them.
spent 70 odd million on Thomas Lemar. Again, done
Again, yeah.
nothing.
Hmm.
They spent 50 million to re-sign Diego Costa a couple of years ago, did nothing. Um, I'd say in the top three teams in La Liga, the world class or kind of ranking below that, you'd have Courtois, Ter Stegen, Oblak, Alaba, and Benzema.
I'd
I
throw
think
in
those are
Suarez in there. I think he's been class even this season and last season as well. Killed it for Atletico Madrid and still doing bits. I had to put him in there. I really
potentially.
would. But what's happened then? Why are these clubs failing? Why are they mismanaged as bad as they are? Why can't they attract young quality players like an Mbappe? Maybe they can. You saw Real Madrid in the summer, they put in that bid for Mbappe. Is that them bluffing or is that they really do have money?
I think it was them bluffing. I think it's just them showing Mbappe that they really want him, and that they're going to do anything to get him, even in these hard times. I think it's almost arrogance from these clubs, thinking that everyone wants to go to them, and that they can rely on these stars, basically Galacticos, right?
Yep.
How Real Madrid synonymous with it, but Barcelona too, spending big money, Coutinho, Dembele, Griezmann, for what, you know? Um, because of these big signings, they can't really spend any more money. Even with Real Madrid in recent seasons, Eden Hazard, they signed him, haven't been able to sign anyone else of note. They even had to go that year without spending, right?
Yep.
Um, and because of that, they can't rejuvenate the squad, and they chose to sign these big stars at the time over more but cheaper younger players. Because they signed Griezmann at what, 28?
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona signed Coutinho roughly 27-ish. Yeah, okay, Coutinho's hitting his prime and stuff, but with these guys, there's absolutely no resale value. And when you're a club like Barcelona, you obviously want the best players in the world, but you can't have every best player in the world. You know, you're going to have some players that you're going to have to sell on or get rid of eventually just to freshen it up, because every club needs to freshen up. And I think they were just too arrogant to see it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Why can't they attract the right coaches? You look at Madrid, they went back to Carlo Ancelotti. You look at Barcelona. Over the many years, they've been firing and rehiring. Even during the season, they fired and rehired. Atletico Madrid, fair to play to them, they stuck to Simeone, and he's won them 2 La Ligas in a space of 10 years, including a couple of European trophies. why won't a manager want to go there? What's he gonna face? What's he gonna get from the owners?
Well, right now, I don't see why a manager would go there. It's not competitive. There's no money to spend. The project is awful. The squad is aging, and most managers are already in top clubs with a good project going on, and with teams that want to play for them, and scouting department or sporting director, all that stuff that want to get behind the coach and build a project. Um, they just don't have the pulling power anymore to get these top guys out of other clubs. Like Nagelsmann just left Leipzig to come to Bayern. Sure, okay, forgetting that he's a Bayern fan and all that stuff. Real Madrid, Barca could have gone in for him. They didn't even make an effort. They could have tempted him. The other guys, all the other best managers are in England. And they know they're not going to be able to tempt these guys out because they're in better clubs right now with better contracts, with better projects. That's it.
Is this a chance now for other teams? Sevilla, Sociedad, Atletico Bilbao, Valencia, Emery's Villarreal. Best time to take advantage and push, make a claim for themselves in La Liga, maybe be the next top dog.
Potentially, I just don't think they will. I don't think there's high enough quality in these teams. There's a few good managers in there. I think Emery's decent. Lopetegui is fine. I don't think any of them are outstanding, but I think they're fine. But again, the player quality is just not there. I think the whole league as a whole is aging, and they need to sort it out somehow.
You think there's a chance they could lose their 4th Champions League spot? And if
No.
they were, who would they leave it to?
No one. That's the thing, because the other leagues behind them are far, far too behind.
I mean, like who's the next league? The Portuguese league, Dutch league,
it's Portugal and France.
Turkish.
No, then they're not in danger of that, but they do need to sort themselves out basically, because it's not good enough so far.
Sure, for sure.
The quality of football in the league is just so bad. It's just boring to watch.
Well. You're seeing in the Champions League
You're
as
seeing,
well.
yeah, yeah.
Europa League, yeah, they're not performing. The football isn't entertaining anymore. They lost their touch, and it's a big loss. It's for me. I think it's sad to see. As much as I hate the likes of certain players, I mean, I don't hate the club as a whole. You look at Barcelona, I despise Busquets, Alba, these kind of whiny. Yeah, I hate these kind of players. Really, I do. They stick it to other players unnecessarily, and it's such a kiddish things to do. If you want to square up. That's what you want to see in football. Not people falling over the place, trying to force a red card on other players. That's not football. That's not what we like to see. But yeah, that's La Liga now. It's not looking good. What we'll see in the next few years if they're able to recollect themselves and go forward.
It's just that I don't see how, because like even players like Eli Moriba, one of the most highly rated players in Barca's academy, just gone to Leipzig as a replacement for Sabitzer, right?
Yep.
And the amount of abuse he's been getting on Instagram and all social medias, even racist abuse, right? It's just disgusting. It's from the Barcelona fans for leaving, for not signing a new contract and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just ridiculous. I hate their fans. I think the fans are the most entitled in the world.
The entitlement, that's what they have. A lot of entitlement. It's
arrogance and entitlement. That's exactly what it is.
And the way they turn their players, really, remember the time they trashed Bale's car? And I was thinking, this guy is
that, or the time they boo Ronaldo.
Yeah.
It's no words, honestly.
You think about it, what play? I mean, if Mbappe goes there, I mean, I don't think it'd be the best move for him, but I think he really wants to go there to be the main man. Like
I fully do not understand why he would want to go to Real Madrid right now.
I don't know either. I mean, you're playing alongside Neymar, Messi. You brought in amazing players in Hakimi, Donnarumma, Ramos. This is a project that's going somewhere. Okay, it's pumped with a lot of Arab money, yeah, sure, but now you can win the Champions League. I think PSG, with the likes of Chelsea, Bayern, City, they're up there with the chances of winning the Champions League now.
Yeah.
And I think this is the best chance he'll have. If he really is going to leave on a free next season, it makes no sense to go there now. Do something here, create a legacy for yourself, win that Champions League, and go finish off your career somewhere else. That's fine. I think he's being badly advised personally, or I think it's just ego. He wants to be the guy at the biggest club in the world.
But it's not like I really just do not understand it. Like he's not going to win anything at Real Madrid
Arrogant
in Europe anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Even La Liga, I don't see Madrid winning. I think it's going to go back to Atletico, and I'm an Atletico fan personally. I love their football. I think Simeone plays the best football out there. I really. I know it's defensive. I get it. It's not beautiful football, but I think it's smart. I think it's smart football. And you got to. And I saw it when we played them in the semi-finals of Europa League. I saw two sides of his team. In the first leg, he knew what he was going to come up against. He sat back and they absorbed everything and they left with a 1-1 draw. That's what they needed. Second leg, a whole new team I saw. High press, attacking, keeping the ball.
The ability to do that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Simeone. He can mix it up. That team can mix it up and play to their opponents, either their strengths and or their weaknesses, and give it to them. They did that to Barcelona last week. So I think they're going to be just fine. They're going to win that league again. And I think they could even make the semi-finals of the Champions League. I'd love to see them win it. I really would. I think they deserve it, especially. I think they got unlucky against Real Madrid, especially the 2014 final.
2014, yeah.
I really felt for them, really. And even in the 2016 final, we went to penalties.
Yeah.
Again, really, like they should have won it then. And I think they will soon, very soon.
I don't think so.
You're just a La Liga here, personally, I think.
Yeah, I am, but I don't think they will. I think there's far better teams out there.
Yeah, but yeah, that's been today's episode on the Halftime Oranges podcast. We're gonna get this consistently done. I think we need to keep this going. And remember, this is the original Halftime Oranges podcast.
The real Halftime Oranges.
The real one. There's only one that exists. We're gonna get it. Don't worry. We'll get it.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Any last words, my guy?
No, just please do like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. If you have any
follow us
ideas.
On Twitter. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter. We have a Twitter account now.
Oh, this is news to me.
Oh, really? A surprise. At Halftime Orange podcast. God. You're going to get great content there. Well, it's a place where we're just going to keep up to date with as much European football as possible. Even the Newcastle takeover, for example, breaking news will relay to you and keep you posted. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace for now.